Hello and welcome back. In this particular video number 2, we're going to talk about what you should do and what you should avoid doing. Believe it or not, most people tend to do what we're going to talk about to avoid. So you're going to be way ahead of these people, and you are going to be able to have a better understanding of why maybe you approached people in the past and they said no, or you just didn't go the way that you wanted to. So hopefully this shines some light on that and better improves the way that you handle things in the future. So before you approach JV partners, you really should think about this one very, very carefully. And this is something that JV partners have talked about alike, and they have said time and time again, these are things that annoy them. So I can't tell you, how many people do it wrong and just shine a negative light on themselves for years to come. So I'm really telling you this so that you can avoid doing this, so that you don't shine that negative light. And you have to realize JV partners, they tend to know other JV partners. So if you do it wrong, or in other words, you do it in a certain way that it offends them or it's just wrong, then they're going to tell their other JV partners, and it's going to be a lot harder to promote. So here's what to do before we talk about what to avoid doing. So you should definitely do the following. You should finish this course, and you should do research on your JV partner. So obviously, a lot of people, they don't think. They just contact the JV partner or super affiliate, and they assume that they're going to say yes. So they have this thing in their mind that they're going to contact everybody in sight. If you think about kind of like a job application, a lot of people tend to send their resume to hundreds of different companies. But instead of doing hundreds of different companies, why not just do one company and focus 1 hour or 2 hours on it? And yeah, if they say no, that's fine. But typically, I've used this strategy before to get actual interviews at every single company. And the way you do that is you research about the company. In this case, you research about the JV partner, right? So what you want to do is you want to watch them. You want to gather intelligence, as much intelligence as possible. You're going to want to jot this intelligence down, which I'll discuss later on. But basically, you want to research them, understand them, see how they act, see what they like, see what they don't like. All of that's important. And fourth, you definitely want to build a relationship with them. You don't really think about this, but if you think about it, if you have a relationship with somebody, they're more likely going to say yes, unless it totally is against what they're promoting. If you think about life as well, the connections and the relationships that you have are typically what allows you to get further in life. So same here. The relationships that you have, if you have a connection with them, if somebody can introduce you to them, and how do you build a relationship? If you think about even, dating relationships, if you approach somebody and you say, hey, will you marry me? Obviously, they're going to run away. I've heard many stories in that case, and people have just ran away and lived to tell the story, then tell the story to everybody else. And it doesn't not shine a good light on them, right? So you don't want to be that guy or gal who tends to do that, right? So you want to build a relationship with them first, connect with them, talk to them, build that relationship, and then ask. If you do that, you have a higher chance. They may say no, they may say yes, but you have a higher chance of them actually saying yes, right? You also want to find ways to support and help your JV partner succeed. And that kind of goes back to the mindset. If you have the mindset of wanting to actually help people, wanting to actually help their customers, wanting to help them, it's going to show. They're going to see it because it's rare. Everybody is just in this dog-eat-dog world, and they want it out for them. If you show that you actually will bend over backwards and do something for them, then that will show out. All right. You also want to create materials and swipes for your JV partner. So this kind of goes back to what I talked about earlier about needing the right materials and the right things to have in hand before you approach your JV partner. A lot of times I've found that a lot of people they approach a JV partner, but they don't have a good sales page, they don't have good swipes or anything like that. So you really have to make sure to plan the whole process of the promotion first before you go out and contact people. So here's what to avoid. Make sure that your product works. So definitely avoid not having a product that doesn't work. You definitely want to make sure your product works. Nothing is more embarrassing than a site that is not set up correctly or doesn't work. There have been time and time again when people have approached even me and the product did not work, product looks horrible, their sales page looks horrible, and yet they still want us to promote. That's with the mindset of one-sided mindset. You see, if you really care about the JV, you really care about the super affiliate, you're going to do your best to hire a good sales copywriter if you can't write sales copy, and a good graphic designer if you're not good at graphic design. But if you try to do it all yourself and it looks lousy, it's not going to convert for them, right? So you got to think about them, right? Don't send your JV proposal to too many people at a time. So this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about the job application process. If you focus on one JV proposal, let's say you spend an hour or so, and the majority of the time you're actually spending time talking to that JV partner or potential, right? You talk with them, you get to know them, you buy from them. Buying is actually a greater action than talking, right? So that you show that you actually are interested in what they're selling. Now, it doesn't always work. Sometimes people promote and it doesn't always work, but it definitely stands out. So that kind of goes back, and I'll talk about this. One thing is you definitely want to avoid promoting or approaching somebody who is in direct competition with you, right? They're more likely not going to promote you if you are in direct competition with you, or if they think that you are going to steal their list of customers. So these are definitely things to avoid. Don't look like a spammer unless you want to be known as a spammer. I've had this time and time again, and people, a lot of times, they don't take no for an answer, or they're like, I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you. To be honest, at the end of the day, super affiliates and JV partners tend to be very, very busy. So the fact that they are very busy, it's okay to follow up politely because they are busy and they might forget. But if you email them like every day or every other day or even several times a week, over and over for like a few weeks or even a month, they're just going to block you. They're just going to ban you. And I've seen this time and time again. So don't look like that guy because they will remember. They'll also tell their friends about it. Also, you want to make sure that your sales page converts and doesn't look like a third grader made it. Not to say a third grader is not going to make a looking good sales page, but what I mean by that is you don't want to have a sales page that is just scrabbled together, that's just put together, not really much thought or anything like that, because what the super affiliate looks for is a good sales page. If they look at it and it doesn't convert, they're going to back up because they might send a lot of their traffic, or they might work their butt off to work on a campaign to put together. That's another thing, is a misconception is that the super affiliate just sends out an email and it converts. Not necessarily. A lot of times super affiliate has to put together a page, a promo, a review. They take time to review the product, test it, make sure it works so that when they do promote it, they do make sales, their customers don't come back complaining. So nothing is worse when you haven't tested a product, or you tested it and it stops working and your customers complain, because your customers then the next time when you promote something, they're thinking, well, you promoted something that didn't work last time. Why should I believe you this time, right? So you really have to think about the reputation and your JV partner, right? So there's a reason why they do certain things, and you want to make sure that you help them as much as possible, but at the same time, you help them, make money, but help them also, prevent things from actually happening like that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to spot successful JV partners in video number 3.